Before we get into that, I want to turn the call over to a very dear friend of mine, Dr. Doug Tuman, who is an incredible doctor. He's also a huge player in our industry. I'm so very excited to have him on board with our team. And Doug has done some incredible things already in a very short amount of time, being with our company in 16 days. And so with that, Doug, we're very happy to have you, sir, on our team, and love to have you share what's happened with you, with Cool Trader Pro in just 16 short days, what feedback you've gotten. I know you have purchased your system. You purchased it, I believe, the first day when you heard about this, and I know you've got a history. Your family has a history in the stock market. So welcome to the call, Doug, and please take it away.
Hey, thank you, Sunil. I'm glad to be here, and I appreciate everything you said. For those listening for the first time, it is a bunch to take in, and I can tell you, Sunil, well, first of all, we go back in the network marketing industry. I am a physician. I've got 6 offices all around the upstate New York area, and I can tell you that I probably would have never gotten into network marketing if my stock portfolio was doing what it should have. So that's one of the things that certainly brought me to this industry. So I'm glad I met you for that. I wish I never had to. When you and I were on board network marketing, we did some great things together. And then I heard that you had found out about a company that had some proprietary technology, and I heard about Cool Trader Pro. I want to say first and foremost, you had my curiosity. When I looked into Cool Trader Pro and I listened to a call like this, found out more about it, you had my attention for sure. And then as I got my software and I started to really learn more about this, now you have my passion behind this. I want to let you know that you're influencing my life in a big way. For most of my adult life, I've been a passive investor. My father was a stockbroker, meaning that he sold stocks and bonds when I was a kid. And as I told Sunil, when he would come home, I would know if the stock market was up and down because he'd either be happy or upset, and we take the brunt of his upsetness. So I learned not to really like the stock market, so I didn't want to get involved in the ups and downs, so I became a passive investor for all of my adult life, which means that someone else manages my money and someone else makes my decisions about my money in the stock market. Times, often, I've called them, I've questioned them, and their answers are always about the stock market is, quote, because that's what we thought, or when asked about what's going on now, this is what we think. I get weekly emails with all of their thoughts. So I'm 55, Sunil, and quite frankly, with all the money I thought I would put in the stock market over the years, I thought I would have enough money to retire by now. I don't. I'm fearful of the future. I'm actually fearful of the stock market in many ways. Many years ago, when I was putting my money in the stock market through my investment advisors, so to speak, they told me about the rule of 72 for investing. I don't know if people have heard about that, but you can look it up, the rule of 72, and that's how I thought I wouldn't have any problems retiring at a young age, because basically if you divide the average percent gain on the stock market in your portfolio per year, it's 72, it tells you how fast your money will double. So it gives you basically the compounding effect. So I was always told take the average annual return, what we were to expect, which is about 7% or 10% annually, and your money will double, basically according to the rule of 72, in anywhere between 7 to 10 years. So if the market earned 10% a year, your money would double in 7 years. At 10%, at 7%, it would double in 10 years. So anywhere between 7 and 10 years, if the market did 7 to 10%, you would double your money. And of course, at a young age starting investing, you'd figure by 21 or 30 years, you would have tripled your money, plus the compounding effect of all of that, plus more money you put in, you'd be well retired by now. So I started young, and guess what? It didn't work. They thought it would. So what happened was, well, for many years, the stock market went up, as it should have. What they didn't know is that it doesn't go up every year. As a matter of fact, through these last dozen years or so, we've had 2 of the worst crashes in the history of the stock market. And these down markets, sandwiched in between any good years, basically eliminates any of that stuff that they told you. So guess what? I'm no better off. Investors are no better off than we were 12 years ago. So what does that mean? It didn't do what they thought it would. And most portfolios like mine, like yours, Sunil, haven't grown. They're flat. They're down. And we're in the same position. Whatever money we had, we basically have, and it didn't grow. So long story short, this is why I'm excited about Cool Trader Pro. Doesn't matter if the market goes up or down. It makes you money both ways. When you learn from Ed, you'll get your passion and your excitement up because he's a mathematician. Numbers are numbers. If it goes up, you make money. If it goes down, you make money. It's because of the automated robotic trading program. So what I'm looking at now and I'm really hopeful for is that I can make up for all that lost time with Cool Trader Pro. I'm disgusted what's happened to my money. I'm really embarrassed about it. I'm disgusted by it. So I'm taking action. I would recommend anybody else who's in the same position take action because we can all make up for lost time. As a matter of fact, I can't handle another crash. So my funds are going into Cool Trader Pro, and that's why I'm excited about this. So I figured out, Sunil, just being a numbers guy, I'm a numbers guy, those rules of 72, 7 to 10%. If I took, it doesn't matter if you take 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, do the math. A lot of people are getting returns of 5% per month in Cool Trader Pro. So if you had $1,000 and you made 5%, that's $50, right? So if you have $50 profits times 10 months, that's $500. On that kind of, nobody can guarantee anything, but on that kind of compounding, it would take about 2 years to double your money, maybe less, maybe more, depending upon what the ups and downs of the market are and how this goes. And that's exciting to me because I still have time to make it up. So there's many things I'd like to talk about, but I want to bring on somebody who has had a very short term in this with the simulator. Before you go in live, you can go in simulation mode, which is really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on, by the way, you don't have to be a doctor to do this. We doctors happen to know doctors. I'm going to bring on Dr. Bill Bergman out of also Denver, Colorado. Great guy. And as you can see on screen, Bill he's a medical doctor. He is someone who is extraordinarily bright, magna cum laude, whatever you say. He's bright. He's brilliant. Phi Beta Kappa, Amherst College, one of the best colleges in the country, Columbia University Medical School. And the guy is just someone I've known for years. We've done business with, and you can read his bio on screen. And I'm just going to introduce him in a second. But Bill, are you there?
Yes, I am, Doug. Hi there.
Hi, Bill. I just want to if we could, Bill, bring you on, and I'm going to tell a little portion of the story, and you can tell what happened. Bill came on board, and he's also excited, like I am, to do this, whether this is networking or not. We just both want to make money, and we want to share this with others, which is a great thing about this. And in the simulation mode, they usually recommend that you start with $30,000 just in simulation mode so you can see how it works. You can do this with whatever amount of money you want in real life. But Bill said, no, I don't want to do $30,000 because a lot of people I know, they'll be putting like $5,000 in this. He wants to start with $5,000 in simulation mode. So, Bill, you want to share your story? I'll let you take it from there.
Sure. Thanks, Doug and Sunil, for the opportunity to be on the call this evening. Well, yeah, I just wanted to, of course, begin with the simulated mode and basically set it up for a relatively small account, 5,000, and then after 4 trading days, using one of the strategies recommended by customer support at Cool Trader Pro, 4 trading days and 5 stocks bought and sold for a total profit of $510. So that was after 4 days of trading. Profit on a $5,000 account of $510, which was quite exciting. So, of course, we're hearing that it averages out at about 5 to 10% per month. But anyway, it was a nice way from my experience to kind of start out.
Hey, Bill, I think that's pretty awesome. And, I know we're going to come back in other calls going forward, but in 4 days, not 4 weeks, you return 5% with a very small portfolio, which is great. And that's the beauty of this. Small can get a little bigger, and then bigger and bigger and bigger, and we can help everybody become more financially successful. So I think it's great, and I want to congratulate you and commend you for coming on board and not only getting this yourself, but already turning other people onto this and helping them get their software up and running. And then you're going to be a great asset to this company. So thank you, Dr. Bill Bergman.
Thank you, Doug.
You're very welcome. I'm just going to pass this on to another physician up in the Canada area. We are international with this company, so I do want to recommend everybody from around the world join this. But I'm gonna pass this on to Dr. John Gluckman out of Canada. Dr. Gluckman, are you there? Dr. Gluckman, let's see. There you go. Dr. Gluckman, are you there?
Okay.
Dr. Gluckman.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to have you take it away,
and then
back. Yes, we can hear you, and I'm going to have you just share your story and then pass it back to Sunil.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, folks, my experience is very similar to what Doug spoke about. I've been fortunate enough to make some good money over the years, and I've tried my hand in the stock market, but unfortunately it's always been a bitter pill. In Canada, we have something called the RRSP, similar to the 401k that you folks have down in the States. And I've heard many people refer to their 401ks become 201ks. Well, my RRSP also, went from, 6 figures down to less than 4 figures sometimes. So it has not been a happy experience. So when Sunil first approached me with this 3 weeks ago, he didn't tell me what it was. And so just on faith, because I know who he is and I know the seriousness and gravity of his due diligence, I paid attention, got involved, and immediately on the first call decided to get on board. Because prior to becoming a doctor, I'd had a career in the real estate business as well as an MBA. So I understand numbers and I understand the market, and I've been a keen observer of some of the unfortunate things that the big institutional brokerage houses have done to the average investor. So in a very short time, we have built a team of 25 people here in Canada, in Vancouver, and with some people overseas. And what's really interesting, and what I've been saying to people recently, Sunil has put up a screen here that shows the initial investment for the software. We have the soft launch period, which is between now and December the 12th, so another 15, 16 days to go. In that period, there is an exceptional deal on the table. Now, Sunil did not have a chance to tell us about that on this call, but let me just tell you just the basics of it. So by investing $3,500 right now, everybody that does so in the next 15, 16 days gets the software, gets it installed, can actually do the simulation as Doug and the other doctor just talked about, or actually go live with a brokerage of their choice. And in the first year, there are no software support costs. So that's included for everybody. But for those of us that have the confidence and the vision to buy this product early, in the next 15 days before the hard launch, those of us are going to get 5 years, starting in month 13 and going to month 72, with no software support costs of $125 a month. Well, that's a saving of $7,500. Well, by my math, what I work out is the fact that for 6 years from the date of purchase of the software, I will not have to spend another nickel. In other words, if I take the $75 or the $3,500 initial cost and I amortize it over 72 months, that yields $48.5, let's say $50 of amortized monthly cost. My question to my prospects and the people that I work with is this: how bad does the software have to perform not to yield a profit of $50 a month when it is set to take off the table profits of minimum $50 on almost every stock that it closes out on a daily basis? So as you've heard the other doctor, in 4 days, he took 510 profits on a 5,000 investment, which by my reckoning is over 10% in just 4 days. So how bad does the stock have to perform not to take 50 a month? So in terms of an investment decision for a rational investor, this is a no-brainer. It's something that anybody, if presented this way, should say, yes, get me on board, and we're having some amazing success with that. The second thing I want to just bring to some of your attention, many of you on the call, if you're leaders in our industry, we're aware of what happened in the last 2 years with a phenomenon with these companies that were using various auction house deals to show us the ability to get compounding daily returns on our money. And we had an amazing run, except that it turned out that it wasn't exactly legal. But here, what we have is as Dr. Tuman and the other good doctor just showed us, the ability to actually literally compound daily. Because the system takes profits every day, every transaction, it's designed to take a profit. It adds to our base capital or principal, and the next day we start with a larger principal, and the next day we do the same, and the next day we do the same. By my reckoning of mathematics, that is exactly what compounding is. And so here we have a 7-year-old company sanctioned by 8 of the largest brokerage platforms in the world, endorsing this product and saying to all their millions of investors, go ahead and use this robotic trader with confidence on our platforms. Some of them cost as little as $1 a trade in and a trade out. So at a minimum profit of $40 or $50 a transaction, with $2 costs, you're making a net of 48 at the least. That in one day covers the monthly amortized cost, as I showed a minute ago. So to me, this is, this makes sense. I'm having more fun talking about this because it's not lotions, potions, or magic health products. It's real. And by my reckoning, there's lots of sickness out there. We have obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. We have many, many sicknesses. But as you all know, and you've all heard, we have another major sickness, and that's lack of money-itis. In other words, we are really up against it as the average people in the middle class. The income disparities in North America between your country and mine are almost obscene. And when you get Ed Barsano one-on-one to talk to you about it, you actually sense his anger at the way the average person has been duped and abused, and it's his intention to level the playing field. I, for one, am supporting him all the way. I'm very excited to be on board, Sunil. I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks, John, and thanks, Doug and Bill. Great job tonight. Thanks for being on the call. And, folks, you can hear the passion from these 3 gentlemen about our technology. And by the way, just as a quick legal disclaimer, I got to put on my corporate hat for a second. We don't guarantee any returns, of course. These are what people are reporting back to us from the field. There have been 14,000 subscribers over the last 7 years that reported these types of results to the company. Obviously, there's no guarantees. You can always lose money in the stock market. I've got to tell you that for a full legal disclaimer. And these are just personal stories that have been shared here tonight. And we ask that you all do your full due diligence before making that decision to come on board.